Greetings, Father Joe here, your friendly neighborhood pastor. Today is Monday, April 25th, and it is the feast of Saint Mark, the evangelist. Mark is the only gospel writer to actually call his gospel a gospel. Mark begins by saying that this is the beginning of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Mark was he traveled with St. Peter. So Mark's version of the gospel would have been very influenced by St. Peter. Mark writes his gospel, they believe, shortly after Peter and Paul have been martyred. So think about the word gospel and think about the situation that Mark was in when he wrote it. Peter, the one who was the shepherd of the flock. Paul, who wrote, most of the New Testament, at least the largest amount of the New Testament. He's just been martyred. The church is being persecuted. And what does St. Mark do? He writes the good news. Now, you have to put this into context. Good news can be, hey, I got a card from a friend I haven't seen in a while. Gee, that's good. This good news, though, when it is used as kind of a technical term, it is a proclamation of the victory. Let's say that Caesar goes off and he fights a battle and he's coming back to Rome. He sends a messenger ahead of him to Rome, and he brings the good news that the battle has been won. Probably a better example would be the marathon runner. The Greeks, they think that they're going to have to flee the city. They're afraid that, that they're going to be overrun. And so the marathon runner runs to the city and he says, "We've won. You don't have to flee." They don't see this yet, but they hear it with their ears. And so it changes their life. In the case of the marathon runner, they realize that, all hope is not lost. In the case of Julius Caesar, they would prepare a welcome home committee. But in our lives, because bad things happen in everybody's life. In the midst of the pandemic, you may have, been doing well. When everyone else is doing great, you might lose a loved one. We all face difficulties individually or collectively, and it's good to hear that Jesus Christ is the victor, that Jesus Christ has conquered sin and death, and that changes the way that we live our life. So, again, today is the feast of Saint Mark, who preached in a terrible time that Jesus had truly won the battle and that we could rejoice and we could share in that victory by following him. God bless you.